Mayor Nicholson? We can't hear you. But I see you here. I'll go down the list. Joe Smart?
Yes, present.
Brian Castellanos?
Yes, present.
Lorraine Gately?
Present.
Dr. Alvarez?
Present.
Michael Donovan? I think he's absent tonight. Kevin Ritterhouse?
Present.
Deb Ruggiero? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Present.
Michael Bertino?
Present.
Rich Marlin? Peter Koulikides? Sorry, just letting people in. Flory Makua?
Present.
Tom Mannion?
Present.
Jim Ridley?
Present.
Lauren Drago? Sorry, tonight.
Present.
Wayne Losey? Rick Starbird?
Present.
Diana Tracudis?
Present.
Jessica Gerardo? Karen Miller?
Present.
Mary G? That's it. Thank you. We have a quorum. All right, if everyone's ready, I'll start the presentation. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Can you see the presentation? I don't know.
No, we can't.
Okay. Let me try one more time here.
It looks like the mayor might be logging back in as well.
Okay. Tim, can you please just share the presentation? When I share, I can't let or can you,
Yeah.
it's hard to let people in and
Sure. Just if you want to give, well,
no,
yeah, that's fine. I'll
I
share.
think I was able to get him in. I just have to stop sharing to let people in. So can you see the presentation now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll get started then. I'll try to keep this open so I can let people in if they show up. Okay, thank you all for joining us tonight. I know we played musical chairs with the meetings this month, but we decided, since we have a little bit more to discuss tonight, to separate the August 30th public forum and have a separate school building committee meeting for tonight. So on the agenda, we want to talk about just a few administrative actions and a quick update on the design process, and then give you a schedule update. That's the primary focus of tonight's submission. We as a team decided that we should push off schematic design to the next round with MSBA, and we'll go through that and explain why further on in the presentation. And that's primarily what we wanted to talk about tonight. So first up on the agenda is approval of the July 12th SBC meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you. And just a quick update on the feasibility study. We're 100% committed on the available funds of $1,510,000. And we have expended 85% of that to date. However, as you will see here, we do expect to spend the rest of the funds for the feasibility study by the end of this month when we have our final invoicing from all the design consultants. We are in the process of the Article 97 land disposition, and we gained approvals in July from the Parks Commission, Conservation Commission, the Cemetery Commission, after our last SBC meeting, and the City Council also voted on August 8th to support the process. So we have a bill that's scheduled to go to the state legislature in September, and once that is approved by both houses and the governor signs off on it, the Article 97 process will be complete. Also, as part of the MIPA process, which is there's several triggers for the MIPA process, and this site, because of additional trip generations, vehicle trip generations, and the fact that we are in a flood zone and have a portion of a wetlands buffer zone that extends into the site, we've tripped the environmental impact report process. So we will be, and because of that, we have tripped the environmental justice outreach that's part of the MIPA process, in which we have started that coordination and entered into that outreach program. And we've been working with the city in order to reach out to the community. And we've also, posted information on our website, which is available in the 5 different languages in addition to English. And we have a community survey that's in the process of being developed that will reach out to the neighborhood and the surrounding communities to let them know about the project, ask questions, and receive feedback. We also have a couple of members from our school building committee that has volunteered to do neighborhood outreach. I'm not sure, Lorraine, if you guys are going to do it tomorrow or if it's in the next week or so.
I believe it's tomorrow, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it's a
5:30?
tomorrow evening. Yep.
Okay, great.
I
knew-
have the packet. I have everything.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. I knew we had talked about tomorrow, but I hadn't spoken to you to confirm that after I sent you the packet and everything. So thank you for doing that. That's one of the requirements of this environmental justice outreach. So appreciate the members of
Oh, one last thing. Is Rick coming? Rick started. Are you able to attend?
Yes, I'll meet you there after work.
Thank you.
So Lorraine, Rick, and Brian, thank you very much. for
Lynn,
doing
did you get
this.
the updates? Sorry. Did you guys get the updates from the Meadow Courts? I know me, Rick, and Lorraine went to Meadow Courts. Wasn't sure if you got the updates from that.
I know that
We did have some feedback that we probably need to share with you.
Yes, I haven't received the feedback, but I know that you guys did that as well, which very much appreciated, and we will write that into our response to MIPA. And any feedback, the project team would be interested in receiving it so that we can respond directly to it. So we've made a little bit of progress on the Inflation Reduction Act. We think that it's worthwhile to set up a working group just to jumpstart this process. And I think that, a couple of members from the SBC, which I think with Rich Marlin being heavily, bringing this to us, I think he might be a good person to be part of the working group, as well as some members from the city, Dania and Michael Bertino, as well as representatives of Consigli, since we will be relying heavily on them for pricing information, which is part of what we'll have to submit for receiving the tax incentives, and a representative from the OPM and designer group. So we'll get back to you on that group, but I think it'll be important to kind of meet regularly until we can get this process jump started. We also have been doing some outreach to some other schools that are a little bit further along than us in the process. And Tim, do you want to give an update on that?
So I don't have an exact update on Wildwood Elementary School. I'm still trying to track down some additional information before I share it. But we have found several, not several, but a couple of MSBA funded projects that have participated in the Inflation Reduction Act. One's already built, and the other one is just slightly ahead of us, I believe, in the design development phase. So I've just been reaching out to those districts and the project teams to kind of understand. One of the schools is that they talked about in the last seminar is the Wildwood Fort River Elementary School project in Amherst, Mass. And they received, after all their incentives, they received approximately, I want to say it was $4.5 million in federal funding for their budget. But there are a couple more pieces I need to track down and before I can give you a good full picture of how that looks. So probably something I would discuss in the working group before bringing it here.
Also, I will say that Consigli, our construction manager, has a subsidiary, Arch Energy, that also is someone we can reach out to for additional help with that. And let's see. That's a quick update on some of the things that we've been working on. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the schematic design schedule. As I said at the beginning, we are looking to extend our schematic design schedule for a number of reasons. We have heard that it is definite that, that MSBA is going to increase their cost per square foot. However, they don't know how much the increase will be. They are planning to vote that in their October 25th board meeting. So pushing that off would help us better understand what our project would be, so that we can take advantage of whatever increases in the cost per square foot that they provide to us. Also, after going through a fairly lengthy cost reconciliation process on the estimates that we received, we have a few things to work through. We've been looking at a couple of different square footage scenarios. Two in particular. One is in around the 175,000 square foot range, and the other is around 184,000. While the lower square footage provides us with a lower construction cost, it surprisingly, once we put it into the MSBA project budget form, it ends up costing the city more in reimbursement than the higher square footage. So we're trying to work through that to make sure we get the right fit for both the school and the city's budget, and as well as some site hurdles that we have some design that still needs to be done on in order to firm up prices on the site. So what that extended schedule looks like, we still are going to continue ahead with our MEPA process. The outreach period is running from July 14th through October 13th. And we're going to tonight be asking you to vote to delay this schematic design submission. And then we have two public forums scheduled, one for August 30th and September 20th. And then we're going to be starting our revising these schematic design estimates beginning sometime the week of August 28th, once we have a few things figured out. We're hoping to receive the revised cost estimates back by September 11th, hold a cost reconciliation meeting on the 12th, and then come back with you to this group on the 13th to update you on costs and let you know where we stand, both with cost and budget. And then if there's any value engineering that has to occur, we'll be doing that and having that completed by September 28th. Then from there on October 4th, at the first SBC meeting we have scheduled for October, we're going to be asking this group to approve the project budget that we'll be submitting to MSBA. That budget has to be submitted to MSBA by October 12th, 2 weeks in advance of the schematic design submission. We'll also be asking the city council to not necessarily vote, but weigh in on where we end up with the budget at their October 10th meeting. And then we will be, like I said, submitting the project budget to MSBA on October 12th, and then a final full schematic design submission to MSBA on October 26th. This gets us to either November 8th or 15th for MSBA's facility assessment subcommittee meeting. We have to take this meeting and present the project to the MSBA in advance of the board of directors meeting, and they've asked us to hold both of those dates if we're going to a December board. So we'll make a presentation to them. At that point, we'll know pretty much where we stand with their approval on our project scope and budget and schedule. And we'll, at that point, should know whether or not, about what their reimbursement is going to be for the project. This all prepares us for the December 13th MSBA Board of Directors meeting for them to approve the project. Once MSBA approves the project, the city council will have to take a vote on funding the project. And we're hoping that can be done by December 19th. So this pushes us out a little bit further than we wanted to be, but we're hoping that if we get the budget where the city wants us to be, and we get the additional reimbursement from MSBA, and everybody's happy with where we ended up with the project, that we can jumpstart our design development in November, which will help mitigate some of the delay. So are there any questions on the extended schedule or why we are making this change? Brian, I see your hand raised.
Hi, Lynn. I was just curious. So on 30th, the date of that public forum, I feel like that's right before Labor Day, where a lot of people will be away. So
Brian, you're kind of breaking up. I'm not sure I heard everything, but I heard that you're concerned about August 30th being when it's the weekend before Labor Day and a lot of people may be away. Is that the gist of your question?
a lot of families will be going. Yeah, yes, families will be going.
Well, that's kind of why we did 2 public forums, and both of the public forums will be recorded and posted to the website, as well as the cable television channel as well. I don't know. I mean, anybody else?
I'm kind of thinking about like some of the like.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you said, Brian. Sorry.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can now.
So there were some folks when I went to Meadow Court. They're not on the internet. They're not. There's some folks that don't have access to those communications. So I think it'd be good to. I think when we go out there tomorrow, I guess we could promote it as well. I think getting the message out there that there is a forum is important, because there were some really good concerns that were laid out when we went to go visit that I haven't really heard from like on social media, when we try to filter out like concerns and what's like folks' thoughts on the project, like some of the stuff that was getting brought up was actually really valuable. So I just hope that I like that we're gonna have the September meeting. But we just want to make sure that when we are planning any type of public forum, that we allow the date to be accessible and convenient for our constituents that the project is impacting.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What's the will of the committee in regards to that August 30th meeting that we have scheduled?
I mean, it sounds like Member Castellanos, Member Gailey, and Councilor Starbird are going there tomorrow to canvas. So it almost seems like a good moment to advertise that there's gonna be a forum the following week. And as you said, we do, for people that are gonna be away that week, they can always come to the September 30th. I know there's some risk in the schedule to meet the MEPA process in order to get things scheduled. But you know, of course, open to folks' thoughts.
Rick, you have your hand raised.
Thank you. The building manager or the property manager from Elhand over at Meadow Court said that he would make sure that residents were aware if we got him notification of any meetings or anything going on, that he would get that out to the residents there as well. So if we could just pump that out ahead of time to him, then he can distribute that to the residents of the complex.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, if there's no further objections, I'd like to be able to keep the August 30th just to meet the requirements of MEPA. And again, we do have the September 20th meeting for those that couldn't make the 30th. Okay, well, if nobody has any, Lorraine?
Okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Lorraine. I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
I'll try to get that information out tomorrow to Lynn Housing. I think walking the neighborhood tomorrow and then telling them about that meeting, even if they're going away, we can inform them that it will be recorded and they'll be able to see it online or on Lynn Cam. So I think that's enough notice, but as Brian had mentioned, maybe the next time we should give people more than a week or two to let them know that we had actually having those meetings.
Yes, well, this
Yeah, and
August 30th was originally July 27th, and we
Yeah.
pushed it out for more time. But
Yep,
and you can of course advertise also the September one when you go out this week, so people will have a few
Will
weeks
do.
notice. Yep. And then the other thing too is for folks that can't make the meeting, you can also take down their questions and give those to us in advance so we can be sure to address them. And you know, people could even follow up with those folks individually as well if you get their contact information.
okay, thank you. So quickly, what does this mean for SBC meetings as we continue forward? For this month, it's the SBC meeting tonight, the community forum on the 30th. September, we'll have a SBC meeting on the 13th with the forum on the 20th. And then for the month of October, we will be submitting a draft schematic design to the entire SBC to have a look at on October 11th. What's not indicated on here is the October 4th meeting, where we will have already submitted the budget to you and asked for your vote on that. And then coming back to you on October 18th to ask for approval to submit the schematic design after you've had a chance to take a look at it. Then we'll submit the schematic design to MSBA on October 26th for the December 13th board. hopefully the dates that are indicated here work for everyone in terms of upcoming school building committee meetings. If anybody has an issue or you know of anything in town that conflicts, now's the time for us to discuss it so that we can revise it to see how it might work with the submittal process required of MSBA. Okay, so if you have any issues and you think of them later, if you just let me know, but for now, we'll stick with the dates we have indicated here. And what does this mean for the overall budget? I mean, not budget schedule, but schedule. With this 2-month delay in, in the process, it does mean that we're very tight for a September 2026 opening. However, if we're able to get a jump start on design development in November, we have a chance to mitigate this schedule extension and pull it back to the start of school for September 2026. I don't want to commit, commit that to say that we can absolutely do that at this point, but it does give us the opportunity to pull back the schedule and get back on track with the schedule. But at this point, I think we're looking at sometime between September and January for a school start, depending on where we end up at the end of schematic design. We still have to get through the schematic design process and get to a budget that the city can approve and can afford, and a school that everybody's happy with. Once we get everything firmed up, we'll be able to, better analyze the schedule and see how we can pull it back to the start of the 26-27 school year. Does anybody have any questions on the budget? Okay, any questions at all on the schedule changes?
I just want to say briefly that I know that the project team does not take lightly the recommendation to go to the December board meeting, that we all recognize the urgency of getting this school built and opened for what it means to the whole system and what it means to our students and teachers who are in that building now. Like Lynn said, I think we can be hopeful that we can make up the time, but we also need to be confident that we're gonna be able to make this work. And so the time is worth it. I want to let people know that we have made progress with the state and with the school building authority and are really significant discussions about the financing, and grateful to the state delegation for their help there. And I also know that this is complemented by all the work that the project team is doing and the substance, but also this committee is doing with the outreach. And I really appreciate everyone stepping up and helping us be in strong communication with the community about this really important project. So thank you.
If no one has any other questions, I'd like to ask that the school building committee vote to extend the schedule and submit the schematic design on October 26th. If everybody's in agreement.
Make a motion to extend.
Any second?
Seconded.
Roll call, please.
Hold on one second, I'm trying to pull up the list. Mary Nicholson,
Yes.
Joe Smart,
Yes.
Brian Castellanos, Lorraine Gately,
Yes.
Dr. Alvarez,
Yes.
Michael Donovan is absent, Kevin Ritterhouse,
Yes.
Deborah Ruggiero,
Yes.
Michael Bertino,
Yes.
Rich Marlin, Peter Kolakitis, Flory Makua,
Yes.
Tom Mannion,
Yes.
Jim Ridley,
Yes.
Lauren Drago,
Yes.
Wayne Lozey, Rick Starbird,
Yes.
Diana Tracudis,
Yes.
Karen Miller,
Yes.
Mayor McGee. Nope, not here. Okay, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Good one, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.